This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to a new show here on Coast to Coast Entertainment Network called In My Opinion. I'm Crispy Bacon, here with Dave. How you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Good. I am doing good. Unfortunately, Dallas lost their game today, but we're here, and I think it's time. I think we need another host. What do you think?
I think so. I think we should bring somebody else in.
Oh, whatever. I figured,
Hey.
what the heck ever, I figured I could hop on and help you guys out. What's up? Ace is back in the house.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on? Ace is back, everybody.
Back.
Yep, absolutely.
There's a guy we haven't seen in ages.
What's up?
It's been a while.
Feels great to be back. I'm so glad to be back. The other day I was sitting at home and I was like, oh dang, I need to pop back on and bring in this show called In My Opinion. Well, here it is. We are here for In My Opinion, the first ever running episode right now. I got my two co-hosts. I got here Mr. Crispy Bacon. I got Mr. Mess Around Dave. Mess Around, it is a privilege to have you here. Crispy, it is a pleasure to have you here also. I cannot wait to jump right into these topics. Crispy, right off the bat, you already said, you know what? It was kind of a rough night. We all know you are a Cowboys fan. We know you are a Cowboys fan, and we know that.
Yeah.
But I will say that right before this Thursday night game, it definitely seemed like maybe Dallas was kind of starting to turn that corner a little bit, because you got to think they had two back-to-back big wins back to back, and people thought that Dallas might be coming in a little hot with those big wins, and then coming in against Detroit. Now, coming into this game, there was going to be a big difference on the percentage of whether or not they would make the playoffs if they won, if they made the playoffs if they lost. So now we know that tonight, since Dallas lost, Dallas now has they're sitting at 9% chance of now making the playoffs. They're on the outside, they are looking in. And then Detroit now, with that win tonight, they're sitting at a 55% chance of being able to sneak in. Pretty much, if Detroit got in, they would get in that wild card spot. So Crispy Bacon, I know that being an avid Cowboys fan, I know you watched the game. Now, what do you think, in your opinion, what do you think went wrong for Dallas in this game?
I think at the end, and I was kind of, at the time, glad it happened, but now I guess looking hindsight 2020, at the end, maybe you shouldn't have gotten the field goal, and then you gave Lions the ball back and they scored that final touchdown for him. That's probably one thing. And then also just there's a lot of missed opportunities and stuff.
Well, if we look inside the numbers, so if we start on the offensive side of the football and we really look at the numbers, we have Dak. So Dak tonight, he was 31 to 46 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. So This is where
Mhm.
I really hate to say it, Chris, because I know this is your favorite team. And Mess Around, I know you may agree with me on this part.
Yeah. No.
This is kind of one of those typical Dak games. And so what I mean is, Dallas
Oh, I
comes
know.
in hot.
Yeah.
They're like, Dak might be putting himself in the MVP conversation because of how he's playing. But then he goes up against a good team, and then he has one of those Dak games to where he turns around and starts turning the ball over. So, Mess Around. Let me ask you, do you think this was one of those typical Dak games? Like Dak had everyone feeling good, and then all of a sudden, boom, Dak happens.
Yeah, Dak always puts up numbers. Then I don't know, a lot of it's garbage time, but most of the time they're in the game and they really don't have a running game, so he's got to throw. Um, so yeah, till Dak.
Yep, it was.
I also feel like
Oh,
can't
go
win the big
ahead.
games.
You what?
I said Dak can't seem like win the big games, like the big games that matter.
Did Crispy freeze?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Uh,
Ace, you good? I think Ace is frozen.
but
Hey,
no,
Crispy, you
I
think
think
Dallas has to win out to make the playoffs?
yeah, I think they had to win out even before this loss. I mean, I think Minnesota, you can probably win that game.
Yeah, it's rough.
After that, I don't know.
It's tough in the NFC when even the 7th seed has 9 wins, so
Yeah, that's true.
rough getting in.
Sorry, guys. I think my Wi-Fi was in and out there, but
good.
I'm back anyways. All right.
Oh,
So
you missed
yeah, I'm back. But anyways, coming back from that, we were kind of talking about Dak Prescott. Look, this Dallas team, they actually have a really, really good offense. You look at with CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Jake Ferguson. Now Javonte Williams is kind of one of those pickups that when he was with Denver, Javonte Williams didn't really do all that much. Now his first year, he was decent. Then he kind of petered off a little bit, and then he became a free agent. And then Dallas kind of got him for cheap. And then it turns out, he was actually a decent pickup in the running back position. So everyone's like, hey, I would say that was kind of a steal at running back. Hasn't been great, but he's been good enough. And now you look at the defensive side of the ball. Now going in, I know Dallas fans, they were kind of all over the place about whether or not they were okay with Dallas trading Micah Parsons, and whether or not people were angry about it, whether or not they were okay about it. And then Jerry Jones came out and said, hey, we have to make trades to be able to stop the run. Okay, true, but you also have to have a pass rush. And so what's showing up for Dallas, I think what really hurt them tonight too, and maybe Mess Around and maybe Crispy, you might agree with this, is what's starting to show up in these games.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, what's starting to show up in these games is that due to Dallas's lack of pass rush, the DBs on the outside are getting exposed. And so teams are able to pass on Dallas because of the simple fact they don't really have a pass rush. Yes, are they able to stop the run game better? Absolutely. But Diggs is not the same player that they thought that they had. Diggs can be thrown on. DaRon Bland, to me, DaRon Bland was kind of that one-hit wonder. He had a good season to where he had like 6 pick sixes, and then but the cover corner part for Bland hasn't been great. So
No.
yeah, exactly. So mess around. Do you feel like Dallas kind of messed up? And so as you see tonight, to where Detroit was kind of able to pick the DBs apart because they don't have coverage and they don't have a pass rush.
Well, yeah, when your opposing quarterback's allowed to stand back there for all day long until he decides to throw the ball whenever he feels like it, because you don't have the pass rush, you're going to get picked apart because you can't cover. You expect your DBs to cover receivers for more than 5 seconds. It's just not going to work out. You're going to get burned.
100%.
I mean, the trades they made to get Williams and the other guy, I can't remember his name, but Williams has helped a lot
Kenny
of stuff
Clark.
in the run game. Yeah, Clark. Yeah, they should have never traded Parsons, but at the same time, Parsons, but they were never going to sign him to what he wanted. I know you're happy about it.
Well,
Parsons in Green Bay.
Yeah. No. I'm definitely happy about it because you can start to see what a pass rush can actually help you with. So, if you have a pass rush like a Micah Parsons or Rashawn Gary, you don't have to have the best corners on the outside because you have a pass rush that can get home. And right now, I think that's what Dallas is lacking. They don't have that pass rush. So because of that, they get exposed on the outside. And Crispy, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, at the time I was kind of confused of, why they traded Parsons, but at the same time, he was kind of becoming a problem in the locker room for many players, and maybe it was good that it happened. I don't know, but it kind of hurt the defense a little bit.
A little bit?
Okay, a lot.
A little bit, a lot. Yeah.
a lot, because Dallas has gone to one of the worst defenses in football. Okay,
Definitely.
They weren't great last year. They were better with Parsons. Then they got rid of Parsons. Then they became a really, really bad defense. And so the last couple weeks, they looked decent. They looked decent enough against the Chiefs. They looked decent enough against the Eagles. Well, let's say the second half against the Eagles, they looked decent enough. But then when you play a team that's a very high octane offense, like the Lions are, that's where it shows to where you get exposed. Now, jumping on the Detroit side, because tonight, I mean, just think 44-30 game. Very, very high scoring game.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of those things, too, to where Detroit is one of those teams that kind of confuses me also. They're kind of one of those Jekyll and Hyde teams. Like, one week, you look at Detroit and you're like, what the heck happened? And then the next week, you're like, dang, this team could go beat anybody out there. They're that good. So they're kind of one of those Jekyll and Hyde teams. So my question for you guys is, do you think that the consistency of Detroit or lack thereof has maybe dealt with losing their coordinators and Dan Campbell maybe taking over play calling duties and not wanting to give it away? Why do you think Detroit has been so inconsistent this season? So, mess around. I'll start with you on that one.
Well, for me, it's very easy. Like, problem is, I think the record would be better if their head coach would stop being an idiot and going for it so much on fourth down. Like, sometimes you just punt the ball and let your defense play. Or kick the field goal, whatever it may be. But he keeps going for it. And I think it was a couple weeks ago, they went like over 5 on fourth down.
Oh, wow.
That's the problem. Their coach is killing them by going for it a lot on fourth down.
Crispy, what's your thoughts on that?
No, I mean, you should go, you should have risky plays in there, but I don't think you should go for it on fourth down a lot, even for Dallas. Going for 3 points majority of the time. I don't know if that was a good idea. Yeah, you want to score, but you also need touchdowns. And for Detroit, I think just and a lot of teams go with analytics over anything else.
Yes, it's those analytics. But there's two things that I do want to throw out there about the Lions. Okay, people can say what they want about Jared Goff. But Jared Goff to me is he's a pretty good quarterback. He's
improved a lot.
He's really not that he's really not that bad. Let's look inside the numbers tonight again. So Jared Goff again tonight, 25 of 34, 309 yards, a touchdown, and 0 picks for a passer rating of 111. Now, the one thing besides Jared Goff that I want to throw out there, let's give props to Amon-Ra. And the reason why we got to say give props to Amon-Ra is because before the game, everyone's like, oh, he injured his ankle last week. And they go, there's no way that he's going to be ready to go. Guess what? He was ready to go, had 6 catches for 92 yards when nobody thought that Amon-Ra was going to play. So, kudos to Amon-Ra. Now, what Detroit did struggle with today, if you really look inside the numbers on
I figured he was going to play. I mean, he only good.
Amon-Ra? You said you didn't think that Amon-Ra was going to play? Oh, there's Dave. He's
no,
back.
I knew he was going to play. He's a tough son of a bitch.
Yeah, he is. He is. If you also you're good. If you still look inside the numbers tonight, Dallas was able to stop Gibbs a little bit. He did score 3 touchdowns, but he only had 47 yards on the ground. So overall, Dallas did a good job at stopping the run. In the end, with this loss that Dallas got, they're now down to a 9% chance at getting in the playoffs. This loss really hurt Dallas tonight. This loss really, really helped the Lions. That put them at 55%. Dallas down to 9. The reason why Dallas has such an uphill climb is because if you look at the teams that are now in the wild card hunt ahead of Dallas, all those teams have now beaten Dallas. So that's why for them, they have that huge uphill climb. Plus, they're still 2 games out from the other teams that are currently ahead of them in the wild card spot too. All right, so jumping into our next topic. This to me, I got inspired by this topic by watching. There was this podcast on TikTok that I saw them do this category, and I wanted to do this because it looked extremely fun. So what this topic is, it's called the overrated topic. So how this topic works is you look at one division each week. You look at one division and you go team by team in that division and you say, who's the most overrated player on that team? So this week we're going to start with none other than the NFC West. So we look at the NFC West, and the first team that we're going to look at is we'll go ahead and we'll start with the Arizona Cardinals. That's the team that we're going to start with. We'll each choose who we think is the most overrated player on the Arizona Cardinals. So I'm going to start out with, in my opinion, the most overrated Arizona Cardinal. Hear me out on this. Agree, disagree, or not. Marvin Harrison Jr. Because coming out of college, he was super hyped up. He was supposed to be like the next best receiver. He hasn't shown me virtually anything since being in the NFL. Now, do I want to completely blame it on him? Probably not, because Kyler Murray isn't exactly what you would call a top-tier quarterback. But Jacoby Brissett has stepped in, played a heck of a lot better than Kyler Murray. and when Marvin Harrison Jr. has been in there, he hasn't done much. He hasn't looked like this stellar star that was supposed to be coming out of college. So, in my opinion, the most overrated player on the Arizona Cardinals is Marvin Harrison Jr. All right, mess around, Dave. Your most overrated Arizona Cardinal player.
Man, I was going to go the same route because I figured everybody else was going to go with the guy I was originally going to go with, Kyler Murray. I was going to go with
Kyler Murray.
Harrison because I figured we would stick Kyler Murray. But to me, it's Kyler Murray. He is up and down. He had a couple good years, but can't stay healthy. And he's just not the guy they thought he was going to be. I mean, at one point, they were making jokes about him not reading the playbook, playing too many video games or whatever. He's just not. I think Brissett's by far outplayed him this year, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't see him coming back next year.
Which was going to be my next question to you. Since you said that Kyler Murray is the most overrated Cardinals player, I was going to say, in your opinion, is he going to be an Arizona Cardinal next year?
No, I don't. I really don't. I think he'll probably go to a team like the Raiders. The Raiders can use him. They don't have a quarterback. I mean,
And then watch he balls out.
Yeah. I could see that. I could definitely see that. However, I do feel like if he became like a New York Jet, his career would just die because it doesn't matter who goes.
yeah.
No, watch him be like Darnold last year.
By going to the Jets.
No, I'm saying if he went to the Raiders, watch him be like Darnold and just have a stellar season in a new team.
In my opinion, I will say that he would have a better outcome if he went to the Jets to the Raiders than he would the Jets. Because
Yeah.
whatever
for
it is
sure.
with the Jets, that organization is just flat out an atrocity. I don't know
Same thing
what it
with
is.
Cleveland.
I don't know. He might be more successful with Cleveland than he would be the freaking Jets. I don't know. I'm just saying. All right. So, Crispy, your most overrated Arizona Cardinals player.
Man, I don't know many of the Cardinals players. You guys said Harrison, and Murray.
You can take the same one. I mean, you don't have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Harrison. Everybody thought that, being related to his dad, and he played a long time with the Colts, and I think that he was gonna be. Everybody thought he was gonna be more successful than what he is. He struggled during his rookie year with the Fanatics contract, and about his jersey and all that. It was just beginning to be a rocky start, and it's still kind of rocky.
He has struggled with everything since
Yes.
being in the NFL. And I remember when he was almost a Chicago Bear. So that was
It's time I kind of wanted it to be, but then I fell in love with Roma Duze.
and so now but you gotta think. I truly feel like you guys dodged a bullet. Just my opinion. I feel like you dodged a bullet with Harrison Jr.
I think 31 teams felt like they dodged a bullet.
So but like I was saying before, it could be the system, it could be the quarterback. I don't know. You give him a different quarterback, Harrison Jr. could be better for all I know. Just in my opinion, I'm just stating right now, he hasn't shown me anything. So, jumping into the next team, we're going to jump in to the San Francisco 49ers. And for those of you who have talked to me about the 49ers before, you all know who I think is one of the most overrated 49ers players out there.
I think I do.
And this man, his name is Brock frickin' Purdy.
Yes.
You know why? Because people are so high on this guy. And the first year people saw him and they go, "Oh my God, look at Brock Purdy." Okay? He had George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Jawan Jennings, Christian McCaffrey, and a heck of a defense. Who's not going to succeed in that system? It's like whoever 49ers put back there as a quarterback, they succeed in that system. I swear.
Look at Mac Jones this year.
Yeah. Case in point, Mac Jones. Mac Jones was doing just as good as Brock Purdy. Okay, you take some of those weapons away from Brock Purdy, he's an average quarterback. Average quarterback. He's not as elite as everybody thought he was. So, that's what I'm saying. In my opinion, Brock Purdy is the most overrated 49ers player there is. All right, mess around. Your most overrated 49er player.
I think this one's going to be unanimous, bro. It's Brock Purdy. Sure, great story when he came out. 7th round pick, the Mr. Irrelevant, last pick of the draft. Goes to the Super Bowl in his second, third year. They lose. Yeah, it makes a great story, but like for all the reasons you listed, it was a ready-made offense for any quarterback to jump in and put up those kind of numbers. I mean,
100%.
Mac Jones has done it this year. So, yeah, Brock Purdy.
Yeah, and so if you remember when Mac Jones came in and he started playing and winning games, there was 49ers fans who were actually calling for Mac Jones to remain the starter.
Right.
There's people saying Mac Jones should remain the starting quarterback. And I'm like, wait, 2 years ago, weren't you screaming that Brock Purdy was the next best thing since sliced bread?
Yeah.
Right.
But now Mac Jones comes in and starts winning games, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, Mac Jones has to be that starter. Mac Jones is starter. He keeps winning. Okay, so are you not on board with Brock Purdy anymore? I don't understand that. I don't understand that concept. It doesn't make any sense to me. All right, Crispy Bacon, your most overrated 49er player.
Definitely Brock Purdy. I mean, yeah, it was a good story when he first started, and everybody's like, "Oh, he was Mr. Irrelevant." Now he's in the limelight. He's gonna be the next, Steve Young or whoever quarterback you want to put in there for San Francisco. But yeah, he's successful. But everybody, I think, just wanted a fresh change, maybe.
Are you talking about Brock Purdy?
Yes.
He's talking about Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I thought so. So diving into those numbers, like we were talking about, looking at these numbers, 2022, when Brock Purdy first started playing, he played in 5 games in 2022. When he took over, I think that was the year that Garoppolo had gotten hurt, and I think like Trey Lance played, and then Brock Purdy was like the third guy who came in. He was a third quarterback. So Brock Purdy came in that year. He went 5-0 in 2022, had 13 touchdowns to 4 picks. Then 2023, he played in all 16 games with the people that he had around him, threw 31 touchdowns to 11 picks, had over 4,000 yards passing. Then last year, he started losing some of those receivers. And some of those receivers started getting hurt. Ayuk got hurt. Samuel had gotten hurt. Christian McCaffrey was out for a bunch of games last year. George Kittle was hurt. Then you look at those numbers. He was 6-9, 20 touchdowns, 12 picks. This year, he has not a lot of weapons. Well, I mean, George Kittle's there. Jawan Jennings is there. Christian McCaffrey's there. I know Ayuk is still hurt and he's not back. Deebo's gone. How many touchdowns to picks do you think Purdy has this season?
9 touchdowns, 6 picks.
9
10
touchdowns,
touchdowns,
7. 9 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
Damn, I was close for guessing. That's not bad.
Very, very, very close. Very, very close. So as you can see,
Not gross.
he's starting to do this. He's starting to do that. So yes, the most overrated 49er player is Brock Purdy.
Well, yeah,
All
they
right.
just paid him all that money too.
They did. They did. They did. They're tied up to a lot of money with this guy now.
Yeah.
So, going into our next team, the Seattle Seahawks. And I will say, look,
Mhm.
I'm gonna probably get a lot of flack on this, and that's
Uh-oh.
okay. I don't care. In my opinion, the most overrated Seahawk player,
Know where you're going.
you can be angry at me if you want, Sam Darnold.
Yep.
I got to do it. I got to say it. He had one good year in Minnesota, and then Seattle's like, I want to pay him all this money. You know how many freaking weapons he has in Minnesota? He had so many weapons in Minnesota. But I will say, not everybody fits that system because obviously J.J. McCarthy is not it because that dude's been bad.
Oh, you mean number 9?
but- Huh? Number
You mean
9.
number 9?
Number 9. Yep, number 9. Number 9. But that's what I'm saying. In my opinion, it's Sam Darnold. He turns the ball over way too much. If you look inside the numbers this year, Seattle has won a lot of games purely off of defense. Purely off of their defense. When he has played against good teams, he's turned the football over. There was that game like 2 weeks ago. He threw like four interceptions in that game against a good team.
Was that the Rams game or the Bucks game?
That was the Rams. That was the Rams game when he turned it over 4 times in that game. 4 times. So yes, Sam Darnold to me is the most overrated Seahawk player. All right, mess around. Let's see if you go the same way or you have.
Yeah, I'm going the same way because I was thinking I knew what you were going to say because what I was going to say. Because you and I talk about this a lot. We're waiting for the other Darnold to show up because we know it's going to happen. Like he starts off really good and he puts up these crazy numbers, and then when it matters most, crunch time, when they need him the most, he's nowhere to be found. And I'm waiting for that to happen.
Exactly. That's what happened last year in Minnesota. At the end, when Minnesota was like, we got a bargain. But in the last 3 weeks of the season, the old Darnold started to show up. And then the playoffs, he showed up and threw like 4 picks in the playoffs. And Minnesota was like, we've had enough of this. And then they let him go. And it's like, yeah, because they saw the actual Darnold. They got Darnold is what happened.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for that to happen. We know it's going to happen. It's coming.
Oh, absolutely. It's coming. Crispy bacon.
Yeah, definitely Darnold. I know everybody can't fit, the scheme in Minnesota, but you got to think that Seattle paid a lot to get him, to be their starting quarterback. And at times he's shown flashes, but at the same time, not enough to maybe, keep a starting spot in Seattle.
Yeah, because if you look at Darnold's numbers this year, yeah, he's thrown 19 touchdowns. Okay, I get it. He's thrown 19 touchdowns. But he's also already thrown 10 interceptions.
I was going to say 12. That's not too far off.
Yeah, he's thrown 10 picks. So that's the one thing about Darnold. He turns the ball over way, way too much. Because it's coming. It's coming for Seattle 100%. It's coming.
I can't wait for it to be like, yeah, we told you. We knew it was coming. Not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yes, it's a win. It's when you're gonna get Darnold because it is coming.
Or which one?
For what, Seattle?
No, I mean which Darnold are you getting at times?
Oh.
We're
Well,
talking like Carolina
what's up,
Darnold,
Kevin?
Jets Darnold.
Yeah, we're talking about the Jets, Darnold. We're talking about the end of last season at the
Yeah.
very end, Darnold. We're talking about the Carolina Panthers, Darnold. Okay, that's the
They're
Darnold that
gonna
we're
get
talking
Darnold.
that the Seahawks are going to get Darnold at some point during the season, and it's going to be when crunch time matters. That's what's going to happen with Seattle, because their defense is going to only be able to carry him so much. But then when Darnold ends up throwing 4 picks in a game against a really good team, they're going to get Darnold. It's going to happen.
Like I said, not a matter of if, it's when.
It's when. It's a win. It's not if. It's when it happens.
Yeah.
The very last team that we talked about in the NFC West, this one to me was a little bit difficult because this team, I feel like they're pretty loaded when you kind of look across the board. They're a pretty complete team. And so it's hard. But we have to talk about the Rams. And so really the only player that I could think of on the Rams that, if you considered a possible overrated player on the Rams, I jumped to Tyler Higbee, the tight end. That was really the only. It was coming down between either Tyler Higbee or Kyron Williams. It was one of those two. I couldn't figure out which one it was, because I know they talked up Kyron Williams a lot. He does have fumbling issues, but obviously, they went out and drafted Blake Corum, so they obviously maybe thought that Kyron Williams wasn't that future in the running back position. But in the end, I guess if I had to go with somebody, it's got to be Higbee, because he's kind of one of those guys that, to me, at tight end, he doesn't stand out like he was supposed to. Mess around. I know this one's difficult, but if you had to pick to put,
It is tough because, like you said, like they're loaded, like loaded. Like it's hard to pick one. I mean, I can't say Adams. I can't say Puka because that would just be dumb. And he definitely can't say Stafford. He's still playing at a high level.
yeah,
So my choices were the same as yours, but I'm gonna go with Williams. I just don't think he's the guy. It's not a knock on him. I mean, he does turn it over, like you said, but they're more of a passing team than they are a running team.
yeah, I won 100%. I mean, with the way that Stafford's playing this year, you gotta pass it. He's
Right.
with Puka and Devontae. Oh yeah, all the way.
Right. And honestly, I like that Ferguson guy tight end better than the guy you said.
Higbee.
Higbee, yeah.
Yeah, but they continue to go with Higbee like that. They're saying that's their guy, but I don't know why. He hasn't shown me anything at tight end. I don't know.
From the games that I've watched the Rams play, that Ferguson guy, he makes huge catches for big games. Like every game I've watched, and I haven't watched many games of the Rams because I don't follow anybody but the Bears. So,
Right. All right, crispy bacon. This one's gonna be hard. Who's
Yeah,
your
I'll go
overrated player?
with the tight end you suggested.
Tyler Higbee.
I can't. Yeah. I can't think of anyone else.
Crispy doesn't know why. He's just picking him.
I don't watch the Rams that much. I don't know.
He doesn't know why. He's just picking him.
It sounds like a Danucci situation.
I mean, I guess if anything, I guess you could have went with the kicker.
Right?
I'll pick the kicker. Can I go with the kicker?
I'll take the punter for $200.
Right?
The whole coaching staff. I don't know.
The whole coaching staff.
I don't know.
Well, no, I will tell you, Sean McVay is definitely not an overrated coach.
No.
Sean McVay, that dude is such a good freaking coach. Like that dude, McVay is one guy that I was like, yeah, that dude's a hell of a coach. But
Mm-hmm.
jumping off the NFL, we're now going to jump into the NBA. And I know Mess Around, I messaged you about this the other day. And I said, hey, was there actually any rumors to this? Because we're talking about Anthony Davis. We know what happened last year. The Lakers traded Anthony Davis to the Mavericks. The Lakers get Luka. Anthony Davis goes to Dallas. Now, Crispy, again, for whatever reason, we're talking about your favorite NBA team here. So I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on in Dallas.
Conspiracy. I don't know.
But I feel like they're already kind of giving up on Davis because you hear there's rumors swirling saying that, yeah, the Mavericks are shopping Anthony Davis. Now, there was that rumor the other day that, yeah, they were in talks with Chicago, and Chicago was going to give up a bunch for Anthony Davis. But since we have a Bulls fan right here live, Mess Around. These rumors. You want to kill these rumors? Are these rumors indeed true?
I think they're still alive. I mean, they're not. They've talked. They've talked to the Mavs about Davis, and I think those talks are still ongoing. I don't know if they land Davis or not, but there's also another rumor out that they're trying to get Giannis too.
Giannis into whatever.
Yeah.
Antetokounmpo. Yeah.
But they'd say, rumors are just that until it happens. It's just rumor.
Yeah, but if you saw those names that apparently, Chicago was going to throw in, it was going to be like Colby White and some of their young guys. I'm like, would Chicago actually want to do that? And as a Bulls fan, would you want to see them get in Anthony Davis and bring him to Chicago?
10 years ago, hell, I would have been excited about this. Now, you're getting an older, I don't want to say washed up because he's still playing at a pretty decent, highly level. But he's not the same guy. And that, too, he's injury prone. So I would rather them just keep the players they have. I mean,
yeah, because Tim Hendricks is saying Davis is too injury prone. He sneezes and he sprains his ankle. And Tim's saying Bulls should not trade their future. I'm in agreement with that. But what ends up happening is, in my opinion, some of these teams look at names. I feel like they don't always look at what's their injury history like. They're looking at the big names and they go, oh, when Anthony Davis is healthy, he dominates the boards. He can shoot threes. He passes good.
He's a shot blocker.
Yeah, exactly. So they're looking at Anthony Davis can do almost anything. But then they overlook the fact that he can't stay healthy. And in Chicago, is the Bulls going to want to risk and jeopardize their future for Anthony Davis?
For a guy that can't help his club when he's always in the tub.
Yeah, exactly. And if Dallas moved off of him now, that trade last year that they did would even look worse.
Yeah.
It would look worse than what it already does.
But maybe fans will be like, okay, we got rid of Anthony Davis. We got rid of Nico. They're probably seeing like, well, things are slowly getting better.
The only reason Mavericks took that trade is because the commissioner guaranteed them they get the number 1 overall pick if they did it.
Yeah, which they got Flag, okay, which
conspiracy theory going around.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's a conspiracy theory. I'm pretty sure that's probably what happened because coincidentally, you make a big trade and now you get the number 1 overall pick. So you get Davis. Now, I can't tell you for sure that when they got Davis, they were saying, let's build around Davis. I don't think they were doing that at all. I really, really don't.
No.
Because this year you're hearing that they want to build the team around Flag. Because not only are the Mavericks talking about trading Anthony Davis, but you also hear that they could potentially be trading Klay Thompson. And so with Klay Thompson, they're even talking about that Klay Thompson could be going back to Golden State.
That's so weird.
That would be awesome. That's where he needs to go.
Back to Golden State.
He just hasn't been the same guy in Dallas that he was in Golden State.
No, but I got what Dallas was trying to do because at the time they had Thompson, they had Luka, they had Luka, they had Thompson, they had Irving, so they had kind of that big 3 going. But then you trade Luka, he's gone. Now you're considering trading Davis, and now you're also considering trading Klay Thompson. So now it sounds like maybe the Mavericks are kind of been like, okay, Flag's our guy. We're going to build around him. We're going to get rid of some of these older players and start going young.
And they still have Kyrie too, right? But I think he's out for the season.
They do.
Correct.
They do have Kyrie, yes. Well, he's supposed to be back at some point. But
At some point.
again, Kyrie's getting old.
He is old.
He's getting older too. So at some point in time, because of his age, they're going to probably want to offload him too. So, Crispy, with you being a Mavericks fan,
Yes.
how do you feel? Would you be okay with them trading Anthony Davis? Would you be okay with them trading Klay Thompson? Maybe getting rid of Kyrie? How would you feel about this?
I guess I'd be okay with it. Is there an opportunity we get Luka back? I'm just kidding. I know that's not it, but I'm okay with it, I guess.
I just don't understand why you trade Luka when he helped you get to the finals the year before. I mean, it's not like he was declining.
No, but
So
they didn't like
stupid.
his off-season work habits. I think.
Yeah,
Because he got past the offseason.
yeah, that's what I kept hearing too. Is that he wasn't staying in shape during the off season. He wasn't taking it serious. But when the guy's coming in and still putting up almost 30 a night, taking you to an NBA championship, how the heck are you
Yeah.
going to trade him still? It doesn't make any sense.
It's like the Patriots telling Brady, you can't go on your diet that you have or all the time. You need to go on this or whatever. You need to change this habits. Yet he's won 6, 7 Super Bowls.
Well, it's Brady though. so
But it's similar. I mean, Luka's
Yeah,
kind of
100%.
in that sense of a key player.
So Tim is saying Kyrie, Klay, and Davis are on the backside of their prime. That they are.
Well, there's no disputing that. That's a fact.
So I know 100% right now. I know, Dave, you would be okay if the Bulls did not trade for Davis. You would be okay with it.
I would be okay if they didn't, but at the same time, they do need to get rid of Kobe White because they already have too many backcourt players, and that's somebody you're not going to want to pay next year. So you might as well flip him and get something for him. Just not Anthony Davis.
Just on Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and also with Davis too, there wasn't really rumors, but there was chatter saying, hey, Anthony Davis could go help a team like the Pistons. I don't know. Right now we're having the best season in a long time. We've been really, really good this year, sitting at 17-4, looking really good. And so it's like, why would we jeopardize the young team we have, to get rid of our young talent, to go get somebody that's at the back end of their prime. It just doesn't make sense. But it's going to be interesting to see whether Davis gets moved before the deadline or at the deadline, or if he stays a Maverick. But in my opinion, so before we wrap up this topic, in my opinion, Anthony Davis will not be a Maverick by the end of the season. Mess around. Is Anthony Davis a Maverick by the end of the season?
No, he's definitely going to be dealt at the trade deadline. To who? I don't care. Just not Chicago.
Crispy Bacon, with you being a Maverick fan, in your opinion, will Anthony Davis be a Maverick by the end of the season?
I wouldn't be surprised either way, but I think he stays.
Crispy think he stays. All right, you heard it from a Mavericks fan. He thinks Anthony Davis is staying.
We only have one first round. I think it's one first round pick this year, and then you have to wait 2 or 3 years before you get another one.
I'm pretty sure you've probably heard this before, Crispy, but I'm going to say it again, and I do apologize for saying it, but the Mavericks got fleeced.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The whole Dallas area wanted pitchforks and torches. And
that was the worst trade maybe in history.
I'm pretty sure they wanted their pitchforks and they were coming out because they got fleeced on that deal 100%. How do you? That was so bad. That was so bad. That was so bad.
I think even Jerry questioned it too. Like, why?
Well, Luka was actually upset about it too.
Oh yeah, when he
Luka
came
was
back to
upset.
Dallas and they played the tribute video or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Tim saying, can the Mavs trade their GM?
I don't think anybody would take him after that team trade.
they let
You
him
know
go.
what? I wonder if that's possible. I wonder if you could pick up a phone and call a team and be like, "Can I trade for your GM?"
Can I trade
It's
myself
happened
to
in
your
the
team?
NFL before.
right? That would be crazy.
I'll trade myself to your team along with 3 of our first round picks if you take me.
That's crazy. That's never happened. I don't even think that could happen. Trading a GM. That would be funny.
It would.
All right. Going into our next one, we know that we are not big LeBron guys, but I'm bringing this up, and there's reasons I'm bringing this up. So tonight, his streak of double-digit points in games ended tonight. He ended with 8 points. The other night, he ended with 10 points. And to get those 10 points, he struggled to get those 10 points. So, the
Did
Lakers
he play the whole game?
and the Lakers looked better. In my opinion, the Lakers looked better without LeBron. And so now LeBron, he got hurt. He's coming back. He hasn't looked like the same LeBron. Even if you talk to Lakers players, or not players, but fans, they're all like, yeah, LeBron came back, and they're like, maybe it's time for LeBron to move on, because he has not looked like the same LeBron. And it's like we've always said, Father Time is undefeated.
Undefeated.
At some point in time, Father Time is going to catch you. And right now, I'm telling you, I think LeBron is at the point in time to where Father Time is starting to catch up to him.
Mhm.
So, here's my question for you guys. In your opinion, Dave, do the Lakers right now actually, with the current players they have, the current roster, do the Lakers actually need LeBron James, and should it be time for the Lakers to move on from LeBron?
They definitely look better without the flop, whatever you want to call him. Just don't call him the king because he's not that
Ooh.
self-proclaimed. I mean, they got good players. They got Reeves who's doing good. They got Luca. I mean, they don't even need him. He's just wasting space at this point. I mean, you can't even average. Jordan in his last season at year 40, he averaged 20 a game off the bench.
Yeah.
Where you at, LeBron? I just can't stand LeBron. I can't stand LeBron fans. I can't stand his flopping. And there's that one when he flopped and he was laying on the floor and he had his hands like this and he peeked to see if anybody was looking.
So looking inside the numbers tonight for LeBron James against the Toronto Raptors. Looking inside the numbers, he was 4 of 17 for field goals, 0 for 5 at 3 points, 6 rebounds, and 11 assists. Austin Reeves was 13 of 21, had 44 points in the game. That was Austin Reeves.
Wow.
That's bad.
DeAndre Ayton, he was 8 of 11 and had 17 points. Yeah,
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad when DeAndre Ayton outscored you because that guy's a bum.
Yeah, and LeBron played 36 minutes, so it's not like you can't say, well, he didn't get the minutes. He played for 36 minutes.
And he shot 17 times.
Right?
Not for lack of trying.
Yeah, it's so he's trying. It just I'm just saying, I truly feel like right now Father Time might be catching up to him.
You know it would be great. You know it would be great if Bronny outscored LeBron.
That would be kind of
That would be king.
So against the Phoenix Suns, LeBron played against the Phoenix Suns. He played 31 minutes. He had 10 points. He went 3 of 10 on field goals. He went 1 of 4 from the 3-point line, had 3 assists, and turned the ball over 3 times.
So he got 18 points his last 2 games.
Yeah. And Luka went 15 of 26, had 38 points. And then Austin Reeves had 16 points. And DeAndre Ayton yet again outscored LeBron.
What did Bronny James get?
He played for 6 minutes, had 0 points, and took 0 shots.
Oh. That's too bad. I want Bronny James to outscore his dad. That'd be great.
That wouldn't be bad.
But you look at the numbers tonight. So Bronny James did not play tonight. So you can't. So I couldn't really tell you that. Yeah, that one's a little bit more difficult because he didn't.
Just have that on a prop bet on FanDuel or something.
Oh, that he
outscored his dad. Yeah.
I don't know if that would actually happen or not. But so far we have seen him. Okay. And then, so the game before that, he had 13 points. He played for 34 minutes, had 13 points, went 5 of 13 from the field goal range, and went 2 of 6 from 3 points. So,
He's bumming it up lately.
yeah, so that's why I'm saying the Lakers don't really need him anymore.
They don't. They should trade him back to Cleveland.
Or Miami.
Trade him back to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Trade him back to Cleveland. No. So that was why I was mentioning this, is because some Lakers fans have been talking about it too, and just being like, maybe it is time to kind of move on. I know there was also rumors swirling saying this isn't LeBron's last year, because they're saying that he wants to come back one more year because his other son is supposed to be coming out next year and being drafted. Well, guess what? We all know what's going to happen if his son gets drafted. Guess where he's going to go?
Drafted by the Lakers.
He's going to get drafted by the Lakers. And if people are saying that's not a conspiracy, that's a conspiracy.
And then have all three in the lineup.
All three,
Right?
yeah, all three in the lineup.
And LeBron would be the worst one.
James. All three of them in the lineup. So Crispy.
Yeah.
Before we go ahead and wrap this up, what's your final thoughts on the Lakers and LeBron James? Is it time to move on?
It is. Yeah, it's time for him to move on. And then there will probably be a coach of the Lakers or whoever else. So he won't really technically leave, but won't be as in a player capacity.
Now, he won't just be a coach; he'll be a player coach, so he can play with his other son when he gets drafted.
It would actually be hysterical if you see trade happens, James goes to the Mavericks, Anthony Davis goes back to the Lakers.
No, LeBron will go to Chicago.
Don't jinx my team like that. Nope.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I have been a Pistons fan for a long time, but I have always said,
I'm just kidding.
No, do not. No, it's going good in Detroit right now.
It is. I agree with
the
that.
Pistons are doing good right now. We don't want that kind of omen on the Pistons. Don't want it. Don't send that bad omen over there. Okay.
Keep him loyal.
Yeah, keep him there. Well, we are at the end of the show, and I'll tell you what, it felt great to be back. My first show back in a long, long time. It feels great to be back. We wanted to bust out this new show called In My Opinion, and I'll tell you what, it was great. It was a fun show. Basically, in my opinion, it's just going to be an all-around sports show. We're going to be on here just talking about whatever sports. So be ready for that. It's not just football, but tonight we talked about it because we covered that Thursday night game. Then we talked about some NBA. And of course, when baseball starts, we'll be talking about some baseball too. So we'll be talking about a little bit of everything. Also, guess what's back too? Guess what I brought back with me?
What'd you bring back? Aces mini games?
Aces mini games on Kicking It. Yep, Kicking It is back.
Kicking It's coming back? Yeah.
Yep, it is back. Kicking It's back, and then In My Opinion's back, along with none other than Aces mini games. And that is
we
right.
get those red tape files going again. Your case files.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So with
Queen Joanne back on there too.
So with that, I will turn this back over to everybody and kind of give us our final thoughts for the evening. I do want to thank Crispy Bacon and Mess Around Dave for being on here for our very first show of In My Opinion. So Crispy Bacon, what are your final thoughts for us for the evening?
No, great show, great debut. Glad you're back, Ace, and just check out Coast to Coast for a lot of good shows added to, the network and, all of our current lineup. So just, stay tuned.
All right. And then, of course, none other than Mr. Mess Around Dave, your final thoughts for the evening.
Man, I can't wait for next week already. I mean, I know it. We're going to be talking about this Bears-Packers game that's coming on this Sunday. Probably going to be one of the topics on here. And
yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that. We'll also next week we'll be talking about the recap of the Thursday night game again, and then of course we'll have some other topics to throw out there for you. So with that, I want to wish everybody to have a great evening tonight. And we will see you all next time. And don't forget, Kicking It's Back. Come and watch an episode of Kicking It. Have a good night.